and bienvenidos, Bear Den Nation! And I hope you're ready to be blown to the moon by today's Über Cinco, the podcast game show where we deep dive top fives. I'm Brian Ernst, your host for today's festivity, and in the den today is Mitch Brinkman versus Nathan Hennenfent. Today our contestants will reveal and defend their top 5 skills you wish you had. And to my left, the ginger-haired fellow, Mitch. How are you this evening?
I'm feeling really good. I want to thank you guys for getting up early and recording at a different time because I'm about to bust out. I'm going north, guys. I'm going to Minnesota. I'm going to a cabin. I'm gonna awake to the sounds of birds and moving water, and I can't wait. So this will be. Thank you. So hello. Yes. Hi.
Cool. I misspoke and said evening, so thank you for correcting the record and saying day. That's minus 1 point already.
Dang
Nathan,
it.
how are the busy fire station run streets of Irving Park today?
Only 2 sirens so far, and it's my clock on the wall says 12:16 p.m., so it's going to be a slow day, I think.
Well, the day is young, so as a reminder, don't forget to stick with us until the end of the show where I, Brian Ernst, will give you my Fast 5 send-off, where I'll rattle off the definitive list of the top 5 passive-aggressive computer errors. And a quick message for our returning listeners. We love pleasing your ear holes and are always looking for more to fill. So please consider dropping us a review wherever you download fine podcasts, and be sure to share with your friends. And if you have a topic or Fast 5 you're dying for us to cover, head on over to bizbear.biz to submit your suggestion. We may even battle it out on an upcoming episode. And for you newbies, let us wake you out of hibernation with a quick rundown of the rules.
Each player in the den has spent time with today's topic arranging their top 5 answers in order of importance. Those answers have been submitted to the host who will moderate the game, awarding points to the player with the most poignant answer.
Starting with their number 5 choice, we will move up the ranks until we reach each of their top answers. But if both contestants happen to have the same answer on their list, well, we have an Uber stare-down.
You will hear the official Über Cinco siren, and both players must reveal their answer and what number they ranked their submission. An Uber stare-down is all or nothing, with one player earning 3 points. After all answers have been read, the host will reveal the final score. And as host, I am entitled to institute a house rule for today's game. Name a skill that I have, and you'll earn a point for fluffing my ego. Mention a skill that makes me jealous, and you'll lose a point. It's going to be a very Machiavellian day, boys, so strap in. Nathan, you won the pre-show shot put tossed, so you will go first. Your number 5, please.
All right. Number 5 is salsa dancing.
Whoa!
Salsa
Cha-cha-cha!
Salsa dancing. Now, there's a couple reasons. One, I have had maybe half of a salsa dancing lesson.
Sure.
And it was very informal. It was at a party. It was just like, here's kind of what it was. And so it was about 45 seconds of me actually trying, and then just breaking down into my normal dancing, which is not salsa dancing or any other kind of dance. It is a gangly 6'3" white guy just trying his hardest. That's, I think, what you could describe my dance style as, is trying his hardest. That would be the nicest way you could say it. But it was like, it's fun. Salsa music gets me up and going. It's a party atmosphere, that tropical Latin flavor. And I recently was, well, when I say recently, within the last year, I was at a bar here in Chicago that had salsa dancing, but it was confined to like this tiny little corner of like barely room for a dance floor. Mm-hmm. But there were all these beautiful, gorgeous women who had come there just to salsa dance, and then there were some guys there who knew how to salsa dance, and they were super popular. But there was one guy, and he was about 5'4", looked like he hadn't showered in about a week, and just not the most handsome young man I've ever seen in my life, but that man could salsa, and these girls were all over him, and he was, I think he was using this power for evil and not for good at all times, because I saw his not only were his moves going south of the border, but his hands were traveling places I was tutting at from over in the corner.
Well, you're a good Catholic. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, anyways, I sat there watching all these people have super good time salsa dancing, and it's one of those. A lot of these things on my list today are surprise skills I wish I had. Like, I want to be out in public and all of a sudden salsa music goes and I'm with a group of people and they have no idea that I can absolutely salsa with the best of them. And then I just jump out and it's like, whoa, I didn't know he had that in him. And so maybe I'll follow up on that one half of a salsa dancing lesson I had and actually follow through with this one.
Got it. Yeah. So I'm sorry, I blacked out for a little bit. All I picked up from that is you want to be an ugly, homeless Napoleon guy who dances. So that's fine. I mean, if that's what you want, I can get behind that. But do you see yourself more as a salsa roja or a salsa verde kind of dancer? That's what
you beat me to it. I was going to say, but mild, medium, or hot. But
I always order salsa verde at Chipotle, so I guess that answers that.
Yeah, you're definitely a verde kind of guy in my book, and it's like I feel like I could see you graduate.
I was verde with envy.
Oh. Man, we are just a bilingual podcast, folks.
If I'm running the salsa bar too, I mean, I'm gonna have a buffet. No, sorry, but no, like I can imagine you calling, and it'll be the first time we ever hear a voice like, "Yes, hello. Do you have salsa dancing?" Like, yes, we do. Okay, excellent. I will be in Friday. You know, that was the most serious, soprano, baritone caller ever for salsa dancing. Wow.
I hate to be a stinker, but are ponytails provided for everyone's safety? I mean, I could see you tearing this up. I could see you easily graduating quickly from Elaine Bennis to this 5'4" Napoleon smelly guy real quick. So
you know what? I'm gonna do it. This is going on the to-do list. I'm marking this down today. Today is when I start the quest to become a good salsa dancer.
And it's really hard because all I keep thinking about is one of my favorite scenes from Along Came Polly of Ben Stiller being forced into a salsa club with his fresh New Balance sneakers and learning to do it just to impress Jennifer Aniston. So I think you're going to tear this up.
See, there's a precedent.
There's a precedent.
When I first was taught salsa, it was in a Latin American appreciation class at DePaul, and the Colombian female student in the class got up and was like, "Who wants to try? I'll teach you." And I was game back then. It's like, "Yeah, sure, I'll do it." And then didn't realize how much my hips were going to move and how sexual I would feel very quickly. But it was like 45 seconds. And afterwards I thought, you know what? All you have to do is just let the rhythm move through your body and just let it all go and just, try and just let your wild heart run, and then salsa will come to you. So I think it's it's all about gumption. It's all about fire in your belly for it. So good luck on your journey.
We'll definitely in a year's time on this podcast we'll do a follow-up and see how I've done.
Yeah,
I think we need to do a full series of all three of us taking a salsa class, and it will blow everyone to the moon. All right, Mitch, try and top that with your number 5, please.
Sure. Yeah, my number 5 is it's a combination of I would be able to play the piano very well, and just have I don't know if it's synesthesia, where you see music or whatever, you see notes, but essentially
you have colors assigned to numbers and musical notes and
which normally equates with people being musical geniuses, right? Isn't that kind of...
Well, I have synesthesia, so yes.
Wow. Oh, yeah. Well, there you go. I was going to say, Brian, don't you also have that, you musical genius, you?
I'm not taking the bait. Please continue.
Dang it. Okay, but so this is inspired by, for Christmas, I got Elton John's record 11/17/70, which was recorded at A&R Studios in New York. and it's a live album in studio. It was recorded to go out on radio. And just the way he tickles the keys, the way he commands a room, the way he took Honky Tonk Women for a walk, and in the final song, which is Burn the Mission Down, just 18 minutes of just exploring the goddamn space. A little bit of Get Back is in there as well. And so just being able to play the piano and just, dance around on it, get up, throw your head back, and then also if someone throws some sheet music in front of you, immediately be able to read it and play it on the piano. That's my number 5. Obviously, Christmas parties are going to be off the frickin' chain with this. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire will just, again, it will consume my body, and people will just assume I'm part Santa Claus. In a quiet restaurant where there's a piano not being played by a guy asking for tips, I finish my dessert and I pop over for a quick 10 minutes, and I donate all the tips to the most needy looking busboy. That's another fantasy Friday night out at a steakhouse. So
I would love to be at the Christmas party with you in a Santa suit and a cigar and a glass of scotch, just hammering out Run Run Rudolph on the piano.
And then giving all of your tips to the nearest smelly salsa dancer. See, if I wanted this skill, I would take it one step further and just jump right over sight reading and just being able to play anything by ear.
I suppose, yeah.
I would just be like, anything I've ever heard, I can recall at a moment's notice, and it just flows out. There's no notes, there's no colors, there's no anything. It's just I can do it. Especially since I'm dreaming real high here, but it's the one thing I've never been able to do: sight reading and playing by ear. I just do not have that skill whatsoever.
Yeah. And I've taken piano lessons, but again, it was at a time when they taught piano very traditionally, and it just wasn't any fun. And I wish. What?
I'm just trying.
You've never had a traditional piano lesson? Come on.
I'm just trying to think what that entails. What makes it so?
Yeah. What did you want
school?
them to do differently?
Just bring me right to the Beatles. Don't stop at these boring traditional songs I've never heard of. Bring me right to the pop music that I like.
You don't need someone to teach you how to do that. You got YouTube.
What?
You got YouTube. Just get a piano and watch people play, and some people will teach you just Beatles lessons online. You don't have to pay for the old lady down the street that's got an out-of-tune piano. Just do it yourself.
Okay, well, when I took piano lessons, there wasn't YouTube, okay? I'm old, Brian. I'm sorry.
You're not old. You can teach an old dog new tricks. I want to see you playing the Tickle in the Ivories, and I want to see him salsa dancing in 12 months.
You know what? Actually, you're right. Danny, my live-in girlfriend, yes, I have a significant other. Sorry, everyone. But she just got a keyboard. And so, yes, I can do this. I'm going to teach myself piano through YouTube. Nathan's dancing. I'll be playing the piano. Give us 12 months. It'll be a fucking party.
We are doing this.
Yes.
We are doing this.
Finally.
Also, I wanted to say, just like everyone at some point in a friend group says we should buy a bar, that other saying that someone says at some point, we should start a band. And with this piano player, I can be in any band. I can just slip right in. So
that's it. You're learning piano. You're going to be tickling the ivories every Saturday. You're going to be salsa dancing, Nathan, performing, and it's going to be in the bar that we own that has the logo on it of 2 Navy men standing in a boat covered in syrup, and then we're going to call it the Sticky Seaman. And it will be our bar. All right. So since, Nathan, you're going to probably have a lot of arthritis going on in your pelvis, I feel like you've earned the full 3 points for this, for your healing and your next 12-month journey. And Mitch, I've said it on this show before. I'll say it again. Always wanted to start a band, so you're getting the full 3 points too. So now we finally got someone who can play keys. So 3 points all around. This round is a wash. Mitch, why don't you move on to your number 4 for us?
Sure. My number 4 is Black Diamond Ski Skills.
Ooh.
Okay. And with this, I'm saying the 21st century is a new time, a new era, and business is no longer on the links. It's now on the slopes. Okay. And I love skiing because it's adrenaline, it's speed, it's powder. It's like living in an 80s comedy, And here I thought about being a great skydiver or a great like a wind squirrel wingsuiter, windsurfer kind of person. I don't know.
Like
the exact name
what's
for those.
a great skydiver is just somebody who doesn't die when they fall out of the plane.
Oh no! I mean, like someone who can like go in and do a very specific, accurate skydive. Like someone who can just who doesn't need anyone with them, who can do all the tricks or whatever. I don't know.
Everyone hates those
like
inaccurate skydivers.
James Bond skydiving without a parachute and catching the guy who does, and then fighting him for the parachute. And
Exactly.
Did you just moonrake us?
Yeah. For me, it'd be like in the middle of a skydive. I prepare like a 4-cheese grilled cheese sandwich with like some scrambled eggs on the side. On a camping stove that I lit while falling through the sky. But no, the black diamond ski skills. And I like this instead of the skydiving or the other more extreme things because skiing is less isolated. You do it with your friends. There's room for everyone on the slopes. And feeling that fresh pow underneath your skis as you bomb the run. You're going full NAR power on this as the weather provides. Those tasty fresh refills as fast as you can get up the lift. Dude, guys, that's a way to spend a day. Also, backcountry skiing through all parts of the great American Western mountain ranges would be wonderful. I can't imagine the thrill and the speed induced by fear of like passing a cougar as you're going down a mountain and it's hungry and it turns and it's like, well, that's a bad cougar noise.
Okay, women over 40 don't make that noise.
I don't know. Maybe they do.
And then it comes after you, and you're cutting those slopes, you're slicing, you're dicing, and I don't know if you guys have ever been to like a big ski resort, but I've been once. And they're great. I mean, there's bars at every level of the mountain, and you're just skiing around. You pop up to a patio. You're meeting friends. You're reconnecting with old ones. You're enjoying a cold Coors Light. The mountains are blue in the heart of Colorado. Yeah, skiing is just just the breeze through your hair. Everything about being outside and skiing, I love it. Yeah, that's my number 4. So being an incredible skier.
And I noticed here you wanted to bypass traditional skiing skills and go straight to the black diamonds, which is good. Good. Yeah. No need to, you don't want the old lady with the piano down the street teaching you how to ski.
Exactly.
Smart. I like how you graduated your level of thinking here, going from your 5 to your 4.
Yep.
This is like I'm trying to combine all of the stereotypical skiing things that are in my head. Yep. Like I have the hot tub time machine era skiing mixed with the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia making fun of 80s ski classics. Mm-hmm. South Park episode where they're teaching them how to ski. Like there's everything going on here, and I think I would want to live in a fantasy bubble that is the ski slope.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It's just I've never been a skier. I've done the bunny hill once. It was fun, and I was like, all right, cool, I got this. And I remember my uncle bought me a ticket when we went to this little ski slope thing. He was like, I'm gonna get you a lift ticket. You just can do the bunny hill if you want, but if you decide to, go and try it. So we did the bunny hill a few times, and I got overly confident. And he was like, you got to try the lift before we leave, at least once. And I was like, all right, I'll do it. And it went up to like probably a medium level slope.
Is this in Wisconsin?
This is up in Wisconsin.
This is Wilmette Mountain, I think, is probably what you went to.
It's way further north. This is
it is. Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is some random place. I don't even remember what it's called.
Okay.
But might be the Bodine Ski Resort. Anyway, I'm like, all right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take it slow. I'm just going to try. I got the side-to-side motion going. Not realizing that if you do it in a certain pattern, that actually speeds you up in a certain way because you're not slowing down enough. So I am gaining a lot of speed. I hit a little bump, and the front of my skis go into the snow, flop, and then I land skis down, knees bent at a right angle with my back dragging on the ground, going like this. Sticks are gone. I slide to a stop. The second I don't hear anything but silence, all I hear coming from the lift is, ooh. So this is definitely not a skill I'm jealous of. I am done with my skiing.
I would love to hang out at the ski lodge just wearing my nice, cozy sweater with the turtleneck and drinking some hot chocolate infused with a little bourbon. I would love that, but I would have to wait till the weekend's over, like Sunday morning, and everybody's getting the last one run in, because I'm afraid of heights and I hate chairlifts. So I can only go down. I can only go down the hill. I can't come back up.
And I feel like I would never want to do this. I feel like I'd be like Jason Sudeikis in Hall Pass, where I just want to carry proof that I do this. Like he's carrying the motorcycle helmet without a motorcycle. I feel like I just want to carry skis around a ski resort and be like, oh yeah, man, that was I shredded it up today. That powder's fresh. Need another beer? I'll just stay with Nathan at the lodge the whole time.
I find it hilarious that you just referenced Hall Pass for a very specific visual joke, and it's also funny, a little sad to me that I recently watched it as well because it's on HBO Go right now, and I know exactly what you're talking about. So
I mean, it's a movie. We've seen it.
It is a movie. Also, I want to mention first time out of to Europe this past October in Switzerland. We were there during summertime though. Would love to go back and ski down some mountains, passing some of those beautiful cows they got there. You know, who knows how long the cows would be out on Snowy Hill, but what a beautiful country. And yeah, so skiing would be it would be awesome. And just the thrill of you're on two skis and you're going like 30 miles an hour and you're just, that powder's just tickling your nose a little bit. Oh, it's so much fun. So.
All right, nice Switzerland flex. All right, Nathan, take us to your number 4.
Well, staying with the continental flavor, speaking French is what my number 4.
Ah.
Now I can't speak any other language at all. I've tried Spanish on multiple occasions.
I heard Verde about 10 minutes ago. So
yeah, it was. That's about as far as it goes. Actually, I will say the brief story of the one time I did speak Spanish was when I was living in London. My friend Gerardo, known to you boys as Jerry, who has spent some time with UBK Studios crew. He and his wife Sophie, if I was around the two of them, and they found out I had taken 2 years of Spanish in high school, if the two of them were together at whatever event, they would start speaking to me in Spanish and just like force me to like keep up with it. And then so after 2 years of that, I'm in Ireland and had several pints of Guinness, and there was this woman from Germany actually who started speaking in Spanish, and I was responding to her for about 60 seconds, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I'm speaking Spanish, and everybody was like, yeah, don't you? And I was like, no. And then but now that when I became aware of it, I lost it entirely. So languages aren't my thing, but I think it's another one that I would like to just, if I was walking around in the States somewhere, and then some French folks were like lost and looking for directions or whatever, and they're having trouble with English, and then everybody's trying their best to help them, but the language barrier is too much, and then I could just jump in with a really suave French accent, and I'm not even going to try one because it will just be insulting, but I think it would just be another jaw dropper and head turner, like where did that come from, and I'm not saying like speak French, I mean like perfect, like beautiful, fluent French. I think, and I picked French as the language, obviously, because it's just the sexiest language, as everybody knows.
Mm-hmm. I remember the time I attempted to speak French once. I was lost somewhere in France, trying to get back to somewhere where I needed to be. Stopped a guy on the sidewalk, and I had a map open, and I was like, okay, I know the word for oceans, mer, and I'm like, I need to go south. Like it was just kind of like Sud, I think. And I'm like trying to sound out these words, and the guy just put his hand on the map. He's like, "Thank you for trying. You need to go this way." Yeah, that was nice. Or the time I walked into a Parisian restaurant because I really had to piss, and the only phrase I remembered from the book I was reading on the plane, "Où sont la toilette?" Where's the bathroom? He didn't point. He just said words. And I realized then that I didn't learn the answers to the question. So I politely left the restaurant and went somewhere else. So I see that I would want to learn any of these languages, whether it be French or anything else, just so I could be an American in these places and just pick up when they're insulting me and then just say something like snooty back, like, I can understand you.
Yeah, I was a number of years ago. I dated a woman who was a native French speaker, and we were at the Christmas fair downtown.
Kindle Market.
And yeah, the Chris Kindle Market. And we were it was just about to close, and we were trying to get our hot chocolate because we arrived late, and it was, this is like the one thing we were gonna get. And so and it was French people that were running the little stall. Mm-hmm. And so we ordered, and they started saying something apparently very insulting about us because we were like, they wanted to go home. And so the girl I was with, she waited until the transaction was entirely complete. And then she said like a really long goodbye, like, thank you so much, have a wonderful Christmas, joy in the well. I at least know that one.
Yeah.
But she, in her perfect French, and they just looked, they shrank in size by about 2 feet, each of them. It was a really glorious moment.
That's my dream. I want to do that. I want to be able to do that in every language. Oh man.
Wonderful.
That's so great. All right, so for Mitch, you want to be a skier. That's great, and I like that.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Sorry, let me recede into my judge persona.
Yep.
But then you had to go on and flex about Switzerland, so I'm only going to give you 2 points because I'm jealous. So that's me taking a point away from you. And Nathan, I'm going to give you the full 3 points because you really appeased to my area where I just want to really just stick it to the man. So you get 3 points for this round. And I'm going to go ahead with you as well to move on to your number 3, Nathan.
My number 3 is landing a plane. And not flying a plane, not taking off in a plane, landing a plane. You'll notice that this is sort of the reverse Al-Qaeda strategy.
Yes, it is.
But I'm going to go to a flight school, and I'm just going to be like, let's get to the landing. That's all I want to do is land the plane. Because I don't care about the rest. But once I learn to land a plane, I'm going to do nothing but get on flights as often as I can, whatever cheap flights, over and over again. And I'm additionally going to learn how to sneak poison into people's foods. I'm going to poison the pilots. And then one day it will finally happen. The law of averages, it will work out that it'll happen, that the pilots will be incapacitated, and one of the chief flight attendant will come out and yell, "Can anyone land this plane?" And then I'll just slowly step up, loosen my necktie, which I'll be wearing. I don't wear neckties, but I will for this mission.
Of course,
I'll loosen my necktie, I'll step up, I'll put on the headset, I'll talk to air traffic control, and I will bring that baby home.
And the headline the next day: serial killer hero lands plane safely.
I was gonna say that took a very me turn. I feel like that was great, very enjoyable. But to poison the pilots, you're gonna have to put poison in all of the alcohol bottles that go in the plane. Hope that they drink
you gotta pull a Foo Fighters Learn to Fly here and do it in the coffee, and then only you drink alcohol so that you are the sober one enough to land the plane.
There we go.
See?
Yeah, you're right.
Everyone drinks coffee, tea, water on that plane, but if Nathan just sticks to hard alcohol, he will be able to land that plane safely.
That's what could possibly go wrong.
Well, your nerves wouldn't be there if you had just a little bit of the old Wild Turkey 101 coursing through the old veins. But
and since I seem to be on some sort of let's call out every piece of media I've ever seen in this episode. Yeah. I mean, if Denzel can do it in flight, being drunk, and flip the plane upside down and bring it down safely, I think you can land the plane with a couple of bottles of vodka in you.
Oh yeah. I might even do the old Sullenberger and just land it on the Hudson just for fun. Yeah. There may be a landing strip available to me, but I'll do the water landing anyways.
Next headline: I think Sully 2 Electric Boogaloo.
I think just after you loosen the necktie, that's when you down a whole martini, smash the glass on the floor, and be like, "Let's do this, puppy!" And rub your hands together.
I haven't flown since the war.
I haven't landed a plane since the last flight crew I killed. So
that's when I started my drinking problem. All right, Mitch, you're number 3.
Brian, don't think I didn't see that.
I know.
Airplane reference. Okay, number 3 for me is full on, perfect speed reading, but not the usual speed reading where you're just like glazing over the words. This is full, complete recognition and recall of everything I read, which is similar to the legendary reading skills of Teddy Roosevelt, which, you know, I'm pretty sure that's truthful. Who knows? It could be part legend. But right now, my wanting to read book list is approximately 315 books long. And since January 1st of 2013, I just read my 100th book. So I want to read a lot more. I can finally swing through Robert Caro's epic on the famous builder Robert Moses. That book is The Power Broker. It's like 1,300 pages long. I'd do it lickety-split. I'd understand the origins of modern New York from the inside out. I'd finish Edmund Morris's trilogy on Teddy Roosevelt. I'd gobble through Ron Chernow's Hamilton, Washington, Rockefeller biographies. As you can tell, there's a lot of very big biographies that I want to read here that they're just, you know, they're grisly things to tackle. Infinite Jest, remember that? Get the fuck out of here. You're done in one rainy Saturday, motherfucker.
And for those of you out there who don't know, Infinite Jest, of course, the 1996 novel by American writer David Foster Wallace, which, of course, everybody should know and totally knows.
Yes. Thank you very much. And I finally give some fantasy trilogies a shot, which normally I don't read a lot of fantasy, starting with the Kingkiller Chronicles by Patrick Rothfuss. And then I'd find a complete set of Harry Potter at a local bookstore, and before getting home with it, I'd tomahawk slam them right into a dumpster. I know, lame hot take, but let's fight. No wands, only fists. Fuck Harry Potter. I'd pop across the pond then, and I'd read all of Zadie Smith's work, because I've read one of her books, but I want to read more, and then I would steal Nathan's copy of Shakespeare's complete works, and I would zoom through that thing like tissue paper. So
just wait till I'm rescued from the island first.
No problem. So yeah, I would that would be incredible to be able to, you know, read, remember, and enjoy a book in, you know, a 50th of the time or whatever it is. So
reading, cool. I mean, I'm just gonna be harsh on you because you just shit all over Harry Potter real hard when the whole world fucking loves Harry Potter.
Yeah, guess what? Yeah. I've read a number of the books. Don't like them. I'm sorry. So I'm gonna buy a copy from a local bookstore. They're gonna get my money, and then I'm gonna put a whole set out of order so no one else can be bored by them. So I might just light the dumpster on fire too.
Let's deny people access to this item of pop culture that has given millions and millions and millions of people joy over the last 20 years.
Well, you know what? It's made me feel guilty about not reading it, even though I didn't like it, and people still would give me crap about it. So I'm burning one set. It's, you know, and I know that's horrible to say I'm going to burn a book, and it's directly antithetical to this number 3 skill I just listed, but I'm still going to do it. So
I want to be able to read the book faster so I can ignite them up to Fahrenheit 451 even faster to watch them burn before my eyes, and nobody else gets a chance to benefit from said books. That's why reading is important.
Exactly. Thank you very much. So,
Nathan, you are clearly my hero in this point. I recently watched a video on YouTube of a air traffic control call of a plane where the pilot had died, and one of the passengers got into the seat and called air traffic control. Asked him, he was like, I haven't flown in 18 years, but I have 80 hours of experience. The pilot has just died. Help me bring her home. And this real Southern guy, they got him on it, and he landed the plane safely. But the second before the plane landed, air traffic control congratulated him. And the only thing the guy said, it ain't over till it's over. So
I'm picturing this as the guy from that meme saying, it ain't much, but it's honest work.
That's what he sounds like, pretty much. And then he was just like, 9 or Delta whiskey, safely on the ground. 5 souls on board, home safe. So... for reminding me of such heroics, you're going to get the full 3 points. And then over to Mitch for his impressive way of powering through all these biographies. I was going to give you 77 points for this
What?
round because I was so impressed by it.
Wow.
But for shitting all over Harry Potter, I'm taking away 76. So you're walking away with 1 point.
Oh my gosh.
You book-burning son of a bitch.
I'm sorry. This kid's trilogy that has infected a bunch of young minds to go against God and Jesus and the right. No, I'm kidding. I can't do that. But
you don't even believe your own nonsense anymore.
No, I don't. No, I just didn't. I'm sorry. I was bored by Harry Potter. I didn't think it was interesting. I thought it was very
because you have no imagination. Look at all these damn biographies on your list.
Those are just the books I haven't gotten to yet because they're so goddamn large. I've read a bunch of other ones.
Open your mind and explore your fantasy a little bit, bro. All right, Nathan, you're number 2.
I'm not gonna respond to that.
Well, this is speaking of Harry Potter. Number 2 is
you better not say be the number 1 student at Hogwarts School of Wizarding Wimps or whatever.
Witchcraft and wizardry.
No, but I do want to know how to do magic tricks.
Well, yeah.
I want to be a world-class magician. So you may have noticed that a couple things on my list would possibly help me in the romantic area. This one would not.
I mean, David Blaine does pretty well, I'm pretty sure.
I was just about to say, do you really need to know how to do tricks nowadays, or just be able to hold your breath and withstand cold?
Yeah, I don't want to like swallow oil and set it on fire within my own body, or poke a nail through my cheek. Like, I want to do like little sleight of hand, little party tricks, little things where you could just drop it into conversation. Like, well, there's a coin shortage as we record this, so maybe coin magic would be a little irresponsible. But the sort of
not if you make more appear.
That's true. Maybe I would save and prevent us from going to a cashless society.
Some would say coin magic is always irresponsible, but
but yeah, I've tried to learn so many card tricks. I always have several decks of cards around the house because I'm an avid card player, and I've tried, and it's just I don't have the fine motor skills for it. It's just the sleight of hand, the forces, and I don't have it. So I wish I could be able to. It would be so fun to just be able to do some close-up magic, just drop it into conversation. Like, you find a little trick, you do some sleight of hand, people don't even notice it. They're like, wait, what is that? And you have to know enough to where you can move on, because you can't repeat the same thing over and over. That's obviously rule number 1 of magic, is you don't repeat the same trick twice. And then I would like to have some big showpiece things like the levitation tricks, and I don't just I get a sense of amazement. Like, I feel like a little kid again when I see like a really good magic trick, particularly if I see like somebody perform it up close. And I'd like to be able to let people recapture a little bit of that just for a second. And then keep people on their toes. They don't know what to expect next from you.
I applaud you deeply for in the pursuit of the dark arts, if you will, because I mean, obviously, you know me. I do enjoy magic. David Blaine I'm a big fan. David Copperfield held my attention very much as a child. Chris Angel, fascinating. A douchebag, but fascinating. But I just don't think any magic trick will ever hold up to the greatest trick ever, which was how J.K. Rowling got a whole world of children to enjoy her books. So I just don't. I don't know if there's anything's ever going to match that. So, but
that's all right. She's burning it down by revealing herself as transphobic, so she's doing it herself. I've always wanted to do the Steve Martin quarter trick where he just kind of lets it roll around his knuckles and he can keep going all the way there. Even just having that little bit of fine motor skills, I've always wanted to do. Prestidigitation. Yes, that. I've wanted that.
I had that word written down as a note to make sure you work this word in so you sound smart. So there, I did it.
That's a point right there. That is successful. That or there was a guy recently, I don't know if it was one of the America's Got Talent shows or whatever, but his whole thing was doing very, very close-up magic on camera. And he was doing this trick where he had a white ribbon that he would just lay on top of a felt table. And he had red cards and blue cards. And he would start sliding it under the ribbon. and his sleight of hand was so fast that it would change from a blue card to a red top card just by going under the ribbon, going super fast. And while he was even doing that, he would you would blink for a second, and then all of a sudden his vest would change. Like he was pulling things off and doing. It was amazing how fast he was doing it. So I commend you for having this on your list, and it's a huge inspiration to me. I want to be able to do some magic. But Mitch, your number 2, bring us closer to home.
Yes, of course. Mine I'm calling indecipherable mimicry. So I can sound exactly like anyone else. And this is one hell of a party trick, right? I mean, this will be unending fun. Constant pranks, constantly surprising people from behind. As folks think, I'm a significant other or a family member that should in no way be at this party right now. You're like, wait, why is my Aunt Jane here? And then you're like, just kidding, it's me, Mitch, and
gotta do the hands.
Yeah, exactly. The hands up, hi, I think I love to prank people. I love to scare people. I'm kind of a Dennis the Menace in that way. And then of course also whenever I hear any accent, I can do an immediate and perfect regeneration of that. Of any film or TV show I've ever watched. So from here on, I'm just going to be doing voice work. Obviously, that's easy work. And because of this incredible skill that I have, no company will ever have to hire and pay the big bucks to a celebrity voice, because I can just do any celebrity there is. So then I create this very cool power vacuum in the voiceover world where I become the entire industry. And then my rates go up. And then I'm just on VO Easy Street until all the voice work is mine.
This couldn't just be about mirth and merriment.
Of course, I'm doing all the best British accents, like "Hello, governor," and a bit of pince pie for me, please, governor, and or the Boston accent, going down to the oh, that's Australian. See, I need the skill. I'm not perfect there yet, so I think it'll come in handy.
I think what you're trying to say is you wanted to park the car in the Harvard Yard, is what I think you're trying to go for. There you go.
Yeah. Let me get a bowl of chowder, governor. Is that? Dang it! I messed it up again. Crap.
Bowl of chowder, governor.
All these dirty cops need to get off. And then I went Kennedy. I can't do a straight Boston, Charlestown bad boy. I just go into Australian every time. Oh my God.
Kennedy is basically Australian. If you just add a little bit more high pitchedness to it, the way you were doing it, it easily goes from Boston to Australia real fast.
Me and all my brothers graduated from Harvard. I mean, yeah, maybe a little. I still think I'm just
close. It's close.
I still just think I have Aussie accent in my blood. Just no matter
I think you
what,
do.
So.
I think Kennedy Boston is not normal Boston. So I think
no.
You're all right there. All right, so I got to score this up here. Nathan, for appealing to my childhood whims, I was going to only give you 1 point because this was just a sad attempt to get women further and further away from you. But you appeal to it. I do want to learn magic, so you're going to get 2 points for this round. And Mitch, this would be a hell of a skill. I was going to only give you 2 points. I'm like, oh man, he just wants to be able to do voices and stuff. But I'm like, you turned it into total world domination.
Yes.
And I like that. As today's Machiavelli, I wanted to see that happen. So the fact that you're going to take everyone's job away from them and be able to succeed and be the world's next first billionaire voice actor, I'm going to give you the full 3 points for that round. So
I totally forgot another aspect of this, which could really bring it into another terrifying realm, is I could easily catfish someone. They think they've just been chatting with their mother for the past, couple months, learning about, whatever it is.
Little did they know that you killed her and made her a lamp 3 months earlier. Yeah, that's right.
Turns out it's just me the whole time.
You're lucky you got your points already.
Yeah, you're.
I'm going to have to start deducting for this sadistic thing. All right, let's go on to Nathan. Please give us your number 1 skill that you would like to have.
It's my number 1 because this is the one that is actually most in the realm of fantasy for me, because I am 100% deathly legitimate phobia afraid of knives. I don't keep any knives in the house, in the kitchen. If somebody's holding a big kitchen knife, I have to leave the room. I can barely pick it up and move it from like the dishwasher to the counter. I am terrified of knives, so I'll never be able to master my number one skill, which is fencing or sword fighting.
Wow.
I would have loved to have been able to be like a stuntman in the movies. Like, this all comes down from like in Lord of the Rings, all the great sword fights in Lord of the Rings. I would have loved to have done that. I wanted to do like a fencing club at some point, but my fear just it overtook me. But I would love, like, I don't know what scenario this would come up in. Maybe it would just like, perhaps I would have to be at some fancy European palace where this is like the only way I can imagine this, where there's like one of those enormous ornate wall decorations with several swords coming out of it, and then all of a sudden somebody's arch enemy comes in and insults the honor of the countess, and then I would have to reach into the thing and pull one down and say, so the scallywag has met the scoundrel, eh? And everybody would part like the Red Sea, and then we would have a duel until first blood, and I would just slightly nick them underneath their eye, right here on the cheek, and then we would drop our swords and shake hands and continue drinking champagne out of glass slippers or whatever we're doing.
Then everyone in the room would leave, and then Nathan would puke into the nearest garbage can.
Now, okay, so Nathan, the most terrifying thing you could think of would be skydiving with like a whole backpack full of kitchen knives.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and holding a candle with an open flame. That would. I don't know how it's staying lit while we're falling at terminal velocity, but
well, you've mastered magic by this point, so that's already taken care of.
Okay, yeah.
Is there an inciting incident that created a deep fear of knives for you?
Yes. It is oddly enough an episode of the hit 90s TV drama ER.
Are you kidding me?
I am 100% serious.
The scene you were about to talk about scarred me for the better half of my single-digit years.
It is when Dr. Carter, played by Noah Wiley, is attacked by a patient who is played by the guy who was the elf in the Santa Claus, which wasn't helping things.
Also, Harold and Kumar, who's one of his friends with Finch from American Pie. Yeah. Can never remember this guy's name.
But
I will look it up while you are discussing.
He stabs Carter, and he also stabs, I think, is it Lucy? I can't remember.
Lucy.
I think maybe she died in the attack. I don't know. I don't remember the specifics of the episode, but I remember just and there's a shot of they're like fall into the ground on like either sides of a hospital bed, and they're looking at each other helplessly, and it was a very well shot scene of television, but it really made my young brain think about like what it would feel like to get stabbed, and that was the moment, and I've never been the same.
So, and the most terrifying part of the scene is you see Dr. Carter come into a dark hospital room, and then the door behind him moves a little bit as somebody with a knife approaches him, stabs him in the kidney. He falls to the ground. You see the bloody knife get hidden on top of a shelf as this patient escapes. And then underneath the bed, he is looking across to the other coworker whose throat's been slit and she's been stabbed in the chest several times. This aired on network television in like 1996.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I checked behind every door for years to come because of this one scene. Like, it scarred me probably as much as it did Nathan, but in a different way. It was like entering rooms frightened me forever. So David Krumholtz is the actor's name, but as everybody knows, that
we got Krumholtz.
We got Krumholtz real hard.
You mean David stabs holes? Oh, sorry,
no,
that's bad.
All right, I can't talk about this anymore because it's bringing up total memories. I'm getting the sweats. So, Mitch, can you bring us to your number one?
Wow, yeah, absolutely. My number one is the ability to structure perfectly as I write. It's something I don't even have to think about. It's just when I'm writing anything, it's always perfectly structured. Whether it's a dramatic piece of writing, a piece of comedy, whatever it is, this would be a special talent. And first thing I'd do is I'd go back and I'd rewrite my great coming-of-age novel, Bravo Oscar Yankee, that I wrote in 2018, and I'd create the next Holden Caulfield character, forever being remembered as the next piece of literature that helps sad, privileged boys feel their feelings and, you know, really help kids get into reading for a couple months before the video games reestablish their hold on their teenage minds. But also creating all of the bedtime stories I read to my children. And yes, I know like kids don't maybe understand story structure necessarily, but you know that if a story is perfectly structured, then the chances of it goes up of them wanting to hear it night after night after night. I think that would be an incredible feeling. Top of the line, best ever, people will frame them. Birthday letters from my family and friends, perfectly structured to evoke tears and then instill deep guttural laughter at the right points. Obviously, wedding toasts would be a part of the arsenal. Thus, I'd get tons of wedding invites. I'd have like 5 viral wedding speeches. That means I get a lot of cake. I get to do a lot of dancing, a lot of joy. So you can't really go wrong with that. And then another one, writing movies would be like one draft. That's all you need, right? I mean, it's like I've got enough ideas rolling around in my head, I think. Structure, boom, one draft, done. Ship it off. You write 30 in a year, you know, 5 get bought, maybe even less. You're sitting on easy street. And thinking about the old fort in my backyard as a kid and coupling that with this little dog that made me cry once when I thought it was attacking me. And I don't know what the story is there necessarily, but with this, I'd have a perfectly structured one, and it would work, and it'd be a great family adventure romp that would play for years to come. Disney Plus would buy it for huge bucks. That would be great. And then I think I don't usually look towards legacy things on this podcast. I feel like I'm more sort of go towards like the in the moment or like the murdering bent. Even though I've never murdered anyone. But with this,
convicted? No, never convicted.
No. Acquitted. But writing letters and or stories or like packages of letters to friends and family as like last wills and testaments. So like, my son Archie opens this letter at 7, opens another one at like 13, another one at 18, another one at like 25. So like being able to leave this like nice written keepsakes for all my family. And then of course, like who doesn't want to be immortalized in literature forever, to have their ideas be out there. It won't do me any good when I'm rotting in the landfill as a dead body getting picked apart by birds. But I think my family would appreciate it.
I have 2 thoughts.
Yep.
I like how in your wildest number 1 skill fantasy, the manuscripts you sent out only have a 17% success rate.
Well, that's because they're perfectly structured, but I want to have the challenge of still generating ideas.
Okay.
I don't want it to just be like, oh, another perfect movie. Oh, another perfect movie. Oh, another perfect movie. I want there to be a little gristle, a little fight,
But then you also died leaving behind a 7-year-old child. This is...
Well, Nathan, I'm going to have a very young wife. No, I mean, you know what I'm saying. A grandchild then. A grandchild or a great-grandchild can read these letters.
And I had a really big question here, too. It's actually for Nathan. Nathan, have you ever received even a poorly structured birthday letter from Mitch? Because I've gotten nothing.
Maybe a text message with a few grammatical errors.
My voice to text does not work that great. I'm sorry, but I couldn't take the time to make the corrections. So, no.
All right. Well, Mitch, I'm going to go and score yours first because this is definitely a skill I'm jealous of. But I would definitely want this skill, but I'm not going to punish you for it because I think this would make us all very rich if you had this skill. So I'm going to award you 2 points plus a bonus point for all the awards and money you're going to be getting us. So you're going to be getting the full 3 points for this.
Well, Brian, I would go so far as to say that you have this skill. You're a structure guy. I feel like I feel like you know how to structure.
I think I appreciate structure, but I don't think I can deliver it the way it needs to be delivered. So I
Okay.
think I'm in the same boat. I appreciate good structure, but definitely need to bring it to this. Nathan, I was going to give you 3 points because I really, really enjoyed being able to see you fence in the medieval times. But then you had to bring up this horrible memory from childhood. And I have to bring you down to 1 point because holy shit, I haven't thought about that in years. And now I have to go to sleep tonight. So I have to check doors again for at least the next 6 months. So
You guys, ER was a filmed fictional television show. I want to remind you guys of that.
Well, while I tally up the points, discuss among yourself, what is another great 90s drama that you wish you could rewatch? Please discuss.
Oh my gosh.
90s drama.
I mean, X-Files seems, I think that's kind of a drama procedural. I love that one.
That's a pretty good answer.
That one's good.
And I didn't watch a lot of dramas in the 90s.
Yeah, I was
too busy watching Wings.
I was gonna say I was Friends, Simpsons, Seinfeld, Will and Grace.
I think the most dramatic show I watched was Doogie Howser because it didn't have a laugh track.
I think mine might have been Power Rangers.
All right, the scores have been tallied, and I have made a horrible mistake.
What's that?
We have a tie at 12 points. So we need to
gosh.
We need to go to a sudden death match.
Woo-hoo-hoo!
What is the skill that you wish that I had? Mitch, you go first.
Oh my god. Okay. I think for you it is one draft, perfect screenplays.
That is a good answer. Nathan, for the final point and to win it all, what skill do you wish that I had?
I wish that you had the skill to water ski aboard 2 live alligators.
Shit, that one's so good. That one is so good.
That is so fucking cool. To give the point to Nathan. And today's winner at 13 points is Nathan for making me look fucking badass. Not even jumping the shark, just riding the gators. So that is a pretty good decision. Wow. Thank you, ma'am. What a great answer for Nathan. And now we can't go away without listening to my Fast 5 passive-aggressive computer errors. Here we go. Number 5. When rewriting your resume for the 5th time in 2 years, Microsoft Word decides to serve up a friendly pop-up.
Are you sure you meant to fill this shit with blatant lies?
Then that fucking paperclip man shows up and gives you a better way to falsify your resume, and you can't even do this right, so how the hell are you supposed to land that job? Number 4. When cropping that perfect photo you took on vacation in Photoshop to post on your Instagram with 4 followers, you receive the following error.
Would you like to edit more than just selfies?
Deep down, you know she's right. You take the photo of you in a sombrero and trash it, opting for a sunset landscape instead. Number 3. When filling your Amazon cart with groceries because you're too ashamed to go out in public after gaining your quarantine 55, you decide to stock up on everything, just in case, when...
Did you mean to add these condoms? Your phone records show no interactions with females in 17 months and they are the wrong size. May we suggest the Trojan minis for your below average shaft?
You sigh and add them to your cart anyway. Number 2. While taking the last error message's advice, you sign up for a dating app to get yourself back out there. You fill it with the basic things you like to do, your favorite movies, and a genuinely lovely sentiment about enjoying life with a significant other. And then...
Your depressing description has matched 487 other lonely men in your area. Here are sites available on the World Wide Web where you can hire writers that will make you sound more like a man and less than a fucking sad chode.
So you have to hire somebody else to make you lovable to everybody else. And the number 1 passive-aggressive computer error. After months of trying to succeed, you've gotten a new job that pays all right. You've met someone and things are going well, and You and your lady are going out strolling and you're getting a bit peckish, so you take out your phone to make a reservation. Siri, what are some restaurants near me with a table for two?
You mean one?
No, I mean two.
Are you sure? Wouldn't you rather eat somewhere cheaper by yourself?
Listen to me, you electronic slut. Put in my goddamn reservation for two at the nearest romantic restaurant, now!
My latest contact tracing results show a female near you has left. Your watch reads an elevated heart rate and perspiration. It's all for the best. Dinner will now be cheaper as your checking account is already overdrawn. Enjoy your Big Mac and thanks for using Siri. Fuck you.
And that's this week's edition of Über Cinco. Sitting just feet away from his elongated kitchen and stainless steel chopping block has been...
Mitch Brinkman!
And seated in front of a wall of heroes and inspiration has been...
Nathan Hennenfent.
And I have been Brian Ernst, and as BizBear always says, a slotted carving knife makes quick work of your salmon slicing and your enemies. Auf Wiedersehen and adios. You've just listened to Über Cinco, a production of UBK Studios. Subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you get your fine podcasts from.
If you like what you hear and want to support the show, please visit our Patreon site at patreon.com/UBKstudios. Every little bit helps us keep the lights on and the bill collectors at bay.
Keep tabs on us on all the social media at UBK Studios, and most importantly, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can see that we really are just a bunch of good Midwestern boys.